Today we're exploring Hollywood's Walk of Fame, one of the most iconic tourist attractions in California. From where to park and eat to the best stars to check out, we'll cover it all so you don't waste your time wandering. We'll also explore some hidden gems along the way, and let's jump into it.
Welcome to Hollywood.
For parking, I highly recommend you head to the intersection of Hollywood and Highland and go to the Ovation Shopping Mall Garage. There's multiple ways to get validation for discounted parking if you're only staying for a couple of hours, but even if you're staying for longer, the parking is not too bad for the area. You know you've made it to LA when you see the Sprinkles ATM. Yep, you can get a cupcake out of a vending machine in LA.
Their cupcakes really are good, so you should definitely try one.
This mall is definitely the best jumping off point for the Walk of Fame, and you can shop, get some coffee, or get something to eat. Before we start exploring, get a good view of the Hollywood sign by going up to level 3 in the mall. Technically it's 3 floors up, but it's actually floor 4 that you want to press. When you exit the elevator, head left and you'll see a lot of people congregating on the pedestrian bridge. From here you can get one of the best views of the Hollywood sign from downtown, but note that it is far away and you'll need to use a zoom. It's a perfect way to start your time on the Walk of Fame. Let's go head down. It only took us 2 minutes before Amy went and got coffee.
Couldn't pass it up.
As you leave the Ovation Hollywood, you'll be right in the center of the Walk of Fame. The 2 to 3 blocks surrounding this area is basically the only thing that most tourists see when they visit. We have made it to the Walk of Fame, the chaos of Hollywood, Los Angeles. We're gonna go explore a little bit to this way and then walk all the way to the end the other way. The only one you really need to see while you're here is Godzilla. What else is there?
That's it. Let's go. We already don't need to see anything else.
Like, you can even get your name put on a star here if that's something you're interested in. I forgot to film this till later in the day, but when you're looking at the Dolby Theater where they hold the Oscars, look over to the right and you'll see Muhammad Ali's star right up on the wall. It's here because he did not want the name of Muhammad to be stepped on, and so they agreed to put it up on the wall.
What is going on? I want to hold a snake.
The first spot you'll get to, and probably my favorite on the entire Walk of Fame, is the TCL Chinese Theater. This theater is iconic in Los Angeles and it opened in 1927 with the premiere of Cecil B. DeMille's The King of Kings. It's also hosted multiple Academy Awards and even the debut of Star Wars. Of course, the main reason everyone goes is for the hand and footprints that are in the ground. I mean, this is a pretty cool place to explore. There's Kobe Bryant, you got Bond, you got Jamie Lee Curtis, there's the Hunger Games. They got a little bit of everything down here. I'll be back. Supposedly the story goes that Sid Grauman, who the theater was originally named after, stepped in the wet concrete by accident and then a light went off and he thought this would be a fun thing to do and had Mary Pickford come and do the first one. We also got Mickey Mouse right in front of the theater. This is the main tourist area, so you'll see the most people here and you'll see all the characters that are trying to get you to take a picture with them. Note that if you do take a picture with them, they will expect a tip. Nearby is where you'll see the star for Bruce Lee and for Michael Jackson, who are some of the most popular, along with Marilyn Monroe and Elvis Presley. Following that, you'll see Madame Tussauds Wax Museum, and across the street, a bunch of souvenir shops.
If you're looking for a souvenir, this is one of the best spots for one.
I like La La Land as a souvenir shop as it's visually engaging, has everything you could possibly imagine, and has a lot of statues you can take pictures with. I got something for you. It's the Best Wife Award.
Wow. I feel like I really deserve this. Thank you.
Continuing on towards La Brea, you'll see stars for Bugs Bunny, Alfred Hitchcock, and even Walt Disney himself. We're almost to the start, which is one street up, but you can see all of these don't have anybody's name on them yet. Also, it's really funny to see the ones that people choose to take their pictures with. I saw people taking pictures with Sofia Vergara back there. I saw people taking pictures with Morgan Freeman. Both amazing actors, but I mean, I wouldn't choose to take a picture with them. What about you?
No, probably not, but I mean, there's a star for everybody.
There's a star for everyone. True words have never been spoken. I mean, really, if you can only choose one, it probably should be Judge Judy. Also, you really only would see a pink Cybertruck in LA, right? Do note that when you pass the main tourist area, which is about a quarter mile in each direction from the Ovation, that's when you get in a more sketchy area of Los Angeles. All right, we made it to the corner of La Brea and Hollywood, and this is the official start to the Hollywood Walk of Fame. Fun fact, I've been down here like 50 times and I never knew that it started here or that there was a Hollywood Walk of Fame star. So that's cool that we're exploring today so I can see that. Also, you can see Elvis's star and the Beatles star right here as well. I know that most people don't make it all the way down to either side, but if you're gonna pick one, this is definitely the cooler one to go to. It's fun to be able to see the start of the Walk of Fame like this. All right, so now we're gonna walk down the Walk of Fame all the way to the end this way. A few facts about the Walk of Fame. There's a sponsorship fee of $75,000 for this star if you're accepted. And there's 6 different categories, which are motion pictures, television, radio, recording, live theater performance, and sports. It's good to know that the rivalry from my youth of Backstreet Boys versus NSYNC is still going strong. Which one's your favorite?
I'm wondering where 98 Degrees is. That's what I would vote.
I just learned something new about Amy. She has a massive crush on Nick Lachey from 98 Degrees. So let us know what your favorite boy band was in the comments. Sophia Loren was the 2000th star that was placed on the Walk of Fame in 1994. It's interesting that most of the area is only 1 star, but this part has 3 stars. And basically a whole walkway of 2. How many stars do you think are on the Walk of Fame?
1,000.
We just saw the 2000th one back there.
I didn't know if you wanted me to say that.
Take number 2. How many stars are on the Walk of Fame?
Over 2,000.
Yeah, do you have a guess?
2,100.
Almost 2,800 now.
Oh, okay. Pretty far off then.
Continuing on toward Hollywood and Highland, you'll pass by the Hollywood Roosevelt Hotel. This historic hotel was built in 1926 during the golden era of architecture in Los Angeles. I always love popping in and looking at the lobby, and it's a great place to get a drink. There's lots of cool stories at this hotel as well, including that Marilyn Monroe lived here for over 2 years. Amy doesn't want to keep walking with me. She wants to stay in the Hotel Roosevelt.
It's a really cool place.
We've made it back to the Chinese theater. Not as many people over there, and the snake is still out though.
Calling my name. Might need a picture.
I'm just as bad. I'm hating on people taking pictures of Sofia Vergara, but I took one with Weird Al, so everybody has a star. That's what Amy said. We found Minnie Mouse. She's basically on the other side of the road from where Mickey was over there. Get a cool view of the Hollywood sign from right here too.
Just so you know, you can actually go into these theaters. Josh and I have seen movies in both the El Capitan and the Chinese theater. Super beautiful and historic to get to see them.
Next update, we just saw someone take a picture with the star for Regis Philbin. That's the best one I've seen so far.
Who doesn't love Who Wants to Be a Millionaire?
Making it back to Hollywood and Highland, you'll find more souvenir shops and of course more museums and attractions. All right, I've found the best star ever. Batman star. There's 3 museums you can do. There's the Wax Museum right there, there's Ripley's, and then there's the Hollywood Museum over here. So if you're wanting to, you can come down and park and you can just go to one of those museums and explore this area. But we're gonna try to go all the way to the end, which is a mile this way. There's also the Museum of Illusions as well down here. Grauman's Egyptian Theater is also a really cool one to go to if you have the opportunity. Amy and I saw a movie here a while ago and it was really fun.
Super fun. Really beautiful inside.
The Egyptian is owned by Netflix, so there's a Netflix store here. The Egyptian Theater was built in 1922 and it's incredible to see on the inside. And then Netflix actually purchased it in 2020 and has been working to retrofit it and to show their own movies inside. That's why there's a Netflix store here with basically everything you would want to purchase from one of your favorite shows. Amy, haven't you always wanted your own Netflix sweatshirt?
I didn't even know that existed, but it's on my list.
Or your own tote bag for Trader Joe's? Apparently I need to get out more because I lived in the LA area for most of my life, never knew there was a start to the Walk of Fame, and I didn't know there was a Netflix store. Fun to find these things today. As you continue down Hollywood Boulevard, you'll notice that a lot of the tourist attractions have been replaced by vape shops. There is an awesome and historic place to eat called Musso and Frank Grill down here.
The food there is delicious and it gives you a little bit of taste of what old Hollywood felt like.
Following that, Hollywood Toys and Costumes has been open here since 1950, and it's a pretty awesome place to explore if you're looking for some costumes or just want to see something unique while you're down here.
So the other area where we parked is the tourist section. This feels like you're actually walking around a city with hookah shops and all sorts of crazy stuff to see, like costume places. It's definitely a juxtaposition between the two, that's for sure.
From here, we kept following the stars past different murals, food trucks, and of course the occasional souvenir shop.
These robots actually deliver stuff to you if you live here. You'll see them rolling around on the street. This one is on delivery right now. It's named Liana. There's the Pantages down there, which is basically the end, so we're almost at the end.
It's around this section that you'll get a great view of the famous Capitol Records building.
At Vine Street, it does split off, and you can go about a quarter mile that way or a quarter mile that way, and you can still see some more stars. We crossed over at Hollywood and Vine so we could get close to see the Pantages Theater.
If you're able to see a show at the Pantages, you definitely should. It's amazing.
The Pantages opened as a movie theater in 1930, but now it is basically Broadway in Los Angeles. You can see everything from Wicked to Hamilton here, and it's an incredible place to see a show, especially if you can't make it all the way to New York. It's worth mentioning that basically directly across the street from Pantages is one of my favorite music stores in the whole world, Amoeba Music. The original Los Angeles store was down on Sunset Boulevard and was as big as a Walmart full of music. It has since moved up here, but it's still just as good of a store, and it has everything you could possibly imagine from CDs to records.
If you're a fan of music like me, you do not want to miss Amoeba. That's one of the best stores in all of LA, in my opinion.
From there, we finished the last 2 blocks of the Walk of Fame all the way to where the first star was placed.
We're reaching the part of the Walk of Fame that no one goes.
Definitely a lot less going down over here.
But this is the official end right in front of us. Also, can we talk about how cool it looks back towards Pantages from right here?
We've reached the end, and this was the first star that was placed in 1960.
In case you're ever playing Trivial Pursuit and they ask you this question, Stanley Kramer was the first star placed in the Walk of Fame in 1960, and he was a producer and director.
So there you go. It only took 30-something years for me to finally walk the entire Walk of Fame. What was your favorite star from today?
Ooh, I'd say Elvis. I feel like I had never seen that one before.
There's only one right answer here, and it is Batman. All right, let's go get some food before we end the video.
Since we had our fill of walking, we grabbed an Uber to our dinner spot.
We are back at Hollywood and Highland where we parked, and we are going to Mel's Drive-In for dinner. This is like a classic California diner. Started in San Francisco, but I've always known it from the LA locations.
The original Mel's was opened in San Francisco in the 1940s, and even though these Los Angeles locations aren't that old, they're all housed in old buildings, which makes them really fun to experience.
You have a quarter, right? No quarter for me?
I didn't bring no money.
Don't be like us and be sure to bring a quarter for the tabletop jukebox. So of course the food is good here, but the main thing you have to get is a milkshake. This is the Penguin Shake, and you know it's good when they bring out the extra for you to have as well. This is Amy's portion, and this is mine. Hey, save some for me. I mean, it's basically burgers and fries, but I always love the vibe of this spot, and the staff is super nice. Just fun to eat in an old school diner.
I mean, it's not gonna win any awards, but it's decent diner food, especially when you're down in this touristy area.
After dinner, since we were already down here, we decided to spend another 25 minutes just walking around Hollywood and Highland at night. Do note that there is a public transportation option, and you can take the metro to Hollywood and Highland if you're interested. At night, it almost feels like Las Vegas down here with all the flashing lights and vendors.
Certainly a different vibe at nighttime.
It is wild out here.
You think you've seen it all, but I just saw Jesus hanging out with Spider-Man and the person from Scream. Went on the Walk of Fame. What's better, night or day on the Walk of Fame?
Man, I feel like if it's your first time, you might need to come at night. It's a crazy experience.
I would agree. There's just something about seeing all the lights and the chaos that puts an exclamation point on your time in Hollywood. Then when you're done, you can head back to the Dolby Theater and walk through the main walkway that shows you all of the movies that have won Best Picture over the years. We were down here for 3.5 hours, and with our parking validation for a discounted rate, it was $11.
And with that, our day exploring the Walk of Fame is over. Thanks for coming with us. We'll see you on the next one.